crooked. I don't even know what to say. What's good, peoples? What's good? Let me see if I could jump on here and get my stuff straight, as I always had to do when I'm on, trying to be on live, trying to chime and talk to y'all and see what's good. I am on live. I don't see my joint on here. Hold on. Let me find my stuff. But we got some interesting topics, we're going to discuss. We're going to talk about some stuff. If I could find that I'm online so I can open up the discussion floor, it should show me being live. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and talk about it because I don't see my live up here. I don't think I set it for later or nothing like that. But let me hit this. It don't even show nothing. But either way, y'all, I'm going to put it this way. We were talking about subjective skills or direct or indirect flirting and things like that. And if you watch the Toccara and Carlos Miller 85 South interview when he was talking to her and how he was flirting with her, like a lot of people don't understand like the subtle things or when someone is actually flirting with them. But we got to pay attention because, you can miss a moment because you don't listen and you don't look. Takara did a lot of things in that video to Carlos Miller. And he picked up on things instantly because it's like when you feel somebody, you're going to easily chime in or be in tune with them. And she was like, I'm loving it. She was like, ba da ba ba ba. I'm loving it. And he was like, no. No, she was like, ba da ba ba ba. He was like, Takara. Like he already was, his wheels was already spinning to where, he felt like he was connected to her. You know what I mean? Like he knew what she was, what her vibe was and everything, which was cool. And then she was like, you got any brothers or sisters? You got any family? He said, nah, I ain't got no family, just you. You know what I mean? Like he was just hitting her with different. I mean, he was coming back and forwards with some subtle shots and some direct shots, to let her know that, hey, I'm feeling you. I'm trying to holler at you or whatever. And then she would laugh it off. And then they had these moments where they would stare in each other's eyes for a long time. And then the physical playing and the touching and then the laughter. And then she got to a point she had to take a drink. She was like, yo, this is, let me just relax. And she took her little sip. And then she started talking again. And then he was still shooting shots at her. But then he did mess up at one point when he was talking to her or talking about her business and her bras and stuff, her business. And he was like, the bras you make for the big titty something or the big breast something. He made mention, but it was kind of distasteful the way he had said it or whatever. And then he made it up to her and came back with some stuff that gained brownie points from her. And you could see her face transition or change from like, okay, you was doing good. Now you messing up my brand or this is my name or, the bras that I do. And he was like the big A bras or whatever. And that's what it was. But then he gave an acronym and he said, I want to get into the bra making business. He brought it back. And he was like, and I want to call mine Big A Bras, Babs. And then she was like, gave him a high five and all that because she was like, okay, now you redeemed yourself. Let's come back. And then from there, he was just hitting her with all kinds of stuff to make her, know that he was sorry and he was on her side. And it was deep. If you don't read subtle skill, if you don't have any women's skills or don't pay attention to someone's body language or their laughter or give eye contact, of course you're gonna miss a whole lot of stuff. And rolling with Rio ain't just about, we ain't just talking about relationships and stuff. We just talking real talk. And I just thought that was a video that if you watch that you can get a kick out of, you can enjoy, because it's a lot of information in there that a lot of people don't pay attention to, and they wonder why they have issues with relationships or issues with the opposite sex, when it should be fairly easy if you're really paying attention to the individual that you're talking to, or the individual that you feel like you want to get to know. So if this is a person you really want to get to know, you want to pay attention to eye contact. You want to pay attention to the conversation. You want to pay attention to their likes and dislikes. And if they want to touch you, or if anything like that, you want to pay attention to a lot of stuff. Because at the end of the day, these individuals are having you, say somebody had you on their show. If they had you on their show, they had you on their show for a reason. They had you on their show for one, they find you interesting. They had you on the show because they possibly like you. They had you on the show because you basically trending in some kind of way, form, or fashion. And they feel like not only that you can bring them good ratings, but they can actually get to know you, and maybe vice versa. They can bring you good ratings with the interview or whatnot. But we have to first understand the fact that we have to pay attention to love languages, whether it's body language, eye contact, a gesture, a touch, or all of that. Now, we can get the wrong impressions or the wrong, I could say, love languages for someone that we're not really interested in. And we still got to pay attention to those. But it's crazy because some of us, excuse me, y'all. Some of us, and speaking as a man, or some of us as men, we're so quick to recognize someone's flirting or flirtation or whatever with us if it's somebody we're not attracted to. Ain't that crazy? If it's somebody we're not attracted to, we really pick up on that quicker if there's somebody we're not interested in. That's kind of tough though, y'all. That's kind of bad for real, for real. Because if we're not attracted to them, we're gonna pick up on it real quick that that's somebody we're not attracted to. Nah, don't shoot no shots over here. But then when it's somebody we're attracted to, either, not me, but either some people don't pay attention to what the female is saying, the woman is saying. They don't really listen to her. They don't take her gestures or pay attention to her gestures. They don't look in her eyes or in her face. You have to do these things, and not just look at her face, like look at her lips and stuff like that. But yeah, you want to hear her, you want to look at her, and then it's subtle things that you could do with your eyes, especially a woman that could let you know that, oh, she's interested in you. Like at the end of the day, it's like you have to pay attention to these things, and it's crazy. But if you look at the Toccara and Carlos Miller interview that I have on there, it said got her. That joint is good though, and I put all the things that were taking place in that sit down interview, and she was like, "I feel like we on a date." And then he was acting like looking around playing like, yeah, she was like, I'm looking for my flowers, my dinner. So she already felt it. She already felt like, okay, he was shooting shots. She was shooting shots back. He was touching her. She was touching him. They started playing a little bit. If you go back and watch the video, that's what I'm saying. You need to learn love languages. You need to learn that there's different forms of love languages. You need to learn to be observant as a man. You need to be observant. If a girl comes to you, and even if she cracks a joke and be like, oh, by the end of the night, you're going to be mine. And if it's somebody you're attracted to, oh, you're going to keenly focus in on what she said, right? But if it's somebody you're not attracted to and say, oh, at the end of the night, you're going to be mine, you be like, oh, I don't think so. Nah, I'm good. You see what I'm saying? Like, when it's somebody we're attracted to, we should hone in more so on paying attention to that person to get to know them just as fast as we would dismiss the one shooting shots that we don't like. So basically, it takes both set of skills to get to the bottom of making it, not get to the bottom, but get to the pinnacle point of getting to know someone to have a relationship. You know what I mean? So it's something, man. I was just watching that, and I thought it was so cool how I broke it down. If you watch that video, you'll see how I broke it down in different sections, and I wrote a caption there, like look at the flirtation, look at the eye contact, look at the gestures of physical touch, look at endearment, look at affirmation, look at all these things that was going back and forwards. Look at the subliminal, because she had made that McDonald's. Everybody know that McDonald's commercial, but he quickly thought about it and said, Toccara. She was like, ba da ba ba ba. He was like, Toccara. Like, it just went. It matched so perfectly. Like, his timing and how he was doing things to show his attention for her was just uncanny. Like, at that point, like, she had to know. She already knew that she was vibing with him. And she was like, he's like, no, you special. Like that small bus. He tried to make it funny again. Like that big pencil, did we get in school? Like the one kid in the room taking his test, like that small little special bus with the tinted windows, the dark windows where you can't see nobody. So this dude was sending subliminal messages too, like, yo, take me to a dark place where we can't see no. I mean, y'all might not see it, y'all might not understand it, but if you're a person who learns people or been around women a lot or had many relationships and stuff, you start looking at those languages. You start looking at languages without words. That's just like sign language. Thank you. If I just walked up to you and said, I I see what you're thinking, thank you, or whatever. You can't hear words with sign language, right? But ASL is a language. Even though you don't hear words, but you hear uh I have a real oh, somebody looking at my stuff on YouTube. But you have a real connection with the individual in sign, even though you can't hear their vocal cords, you can see their sign. They sign. That language is a language in itself, even without words. So just like the human body, like a signer can use their body or their hand to make gestures or signs for you to understand, it's considered a language. So a love language doesn't have to be words. It could be actions, movements, eye contact, not just words of affirmation and things like that, or what we do for someone physically. It could be what we don't say. You get what I'm saying? It could be what we don't say. So it's really good, man, to really pay attention in conversations, because if you look at that video, Carlos Miller picked up on everything she was dropping. And she had no choice but to pick up what he was saying, because he was being really smooth with it at first, and then he was being really direct. But then when he saw that he put his foot in his mouth about her business of the bras, he said, yeah, you got coupons for those big A bras or whatever? Yeah, let them know about them big A bras. Now, she took offense. You could tell she took offense because you could look at her face. She took offense. She was offended by what he said because, for one, she's the brand ambassador for her brand and her clothing line, right? And she's a person that makes bras. So now once he seen her face do a change from endearment to hurt, or from endearment to shock, he flipped it real quick, was like, this ain't the time for me to crack no jokes, and I don't think that was cool. So yeah, he flipped that big A breast to babe, or baps. And he was like, I want to get into, the bra, line of bra making business. She was like, oh, she was like, what you want to, oh, a boxers? And she tried to shift it because she was already mad. And he said, no, bras. And I want to call mine Babs. Big A bra. And he remixed it. She gave him a high five, touched him. No, she said, give me some. He said, no, you give me some. No, I'm for real. I need it. If you watch the video, y'all gotta watch the video. I put key markers in that whole video of the flirtation, of the subjective skills, the direct flirting, the subtle flirting, the eye contact, The touching, the physical touch, the affirmation, and then his mess up where her whole face and demeanor changed to him bringing it back to positive and really showing that he was sorry for what he just said, how he fixed it, and then he went on with the relationship to build a relationship to talk to her. By the end, he got her. By the end, he had her. By the end, he got her. Like, you got to understand and look at those things, man. You just got to look at those things. Like, it's no way in the world that you couldn't say he didn't have her wrapped up. He had her wrapped up in the very beginning. He hurt himself in the middle when he started talking about her bra business and gave her bras a name that wasn't the title of her bras, because they was like, what's the name of your bras? And then she broke it down, was like, the name of my bras is basically my name, because my name is my brand. And then he felt kind of, silly after he did it. And he had this silly look on his face like, I'm so sorry, I messed up. And then he reversed it, man. He fixed it so smooth. Y'all gotta watch it. He fixed it so smooth in that video. It's not even funny. And his smoothness got him right back in track to getting what he wanted. And that was Toccara. And I guarantee they gotta be talking. And if they ain't talking, some other stuff may have transpired. But you ain't heard it from me. But the whole point is he held it down. And that's what I'm saying. If you're going to be a person about getting to know somebody, it ain't all about being a heathen or this or that or third, but being a real gentleman or a real person and actually being a person to listen. If you listen to a woman, and women listen to men, but if a man really, because I know a lot of times we as men have a hard time using these. So what I'm saying is, if you really take the time to listen to a woman, entertain her thoughts in her conversation, you could pick out if a woman likes you or not. You really could. You could pick it out. It's not just a physical vibe or whatever, because you could feel a chemistry, but she may not have a conversation. She may not have conversational qualities. She may not have certain things that you would want in a relationship. She might look good, yeah, but she might have a bad attitude. She might look good, yeah, but she may not know how to communicate. She may look good, yeah, but it may be something else that just doesn't mesh up. So, and that's the same for men. That's the same for men. And it's like women, like how he was playing with her like a little kid. No, you stop. No, you stop. No, you stop. You stop. No, stop. She's like, you stop. I did stop. I was like, yo, y'all got to see it. Like, if you can't pick up on none of that, man, then you're gonna be lost, man. If you can't pick up on love languages, whether it's direct, indirect, through conversation, eye contact, personal touch, words of affirmation, if you can't pick up and paying attention to what somebody putting down, you're gonna be lost, man. This is Rio 101. You know what I mean? This is Rio's Reds 101. Rio's Reds 101, honestly, because a lot of people seem like they need it. It's not no game. It's paying attention to people. If you interested in something, now, like, maybe you like motorcycles, you like cars, right? So you love cars. This thing got a 454 in it. It go 100 miles an hour in 45 seconds flat, or in 60 seconds flat, or less than 60 seconds. You can get up to 100 RPMs or whatever. Or this motorcycle could do a quarter mile and this and this and this. I could tell you about the sprockets. I could tell you about, this. I could tell you about the headers in this car. I could tell you about this. You can know all of that about what you love. But if this person is something you interested in, if this person is someone you want to get to know, wouldn't you want to have that same energy and that same focus on that person's conversation, that person's demeanor, that person's actions when you're talking to them to get to know them better? You should want to know them like you know that motorcycle. You should want to get to know them like you know that 454 engine and them headers and them blocks. You know what I'm saying? Them tires and wheels. You should get to know them even more so to where you can connect and understand what they're trying to put down. Because if you don't understand what they're trying to put down, how can you pick it up to see the signs of what they're trying to show you, or trying to flirt, or trying to tell you, or trying to give you eye contact, and you just not getting it? I've seen some clueless dudes, man, for real. I've seen a whole lot of clueless people in life, and I just sat there and watched either a woman shoot shots at them or a man shoot shots at the woman, and either the man did not, it just went over his head, and then she just shook her head like, he fine, but he done. And then I seen some women do it too. And the man just shook her head, was like, dang, I was, kind of throwing something out there for her, and she ain't even grab it. Maybe she got a man or something. And that's what a lot of men think. And she probably ain't got no man or nothing. Was just clueless to love languages, clueless to words of affirmation, clueless to a lot of things that would make a relationship. But see, a lot of people are introverted. A lot of people are introverts. They could be extroverted on a certain topic, but introverted in their personal life, if that makes sense. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I've seen it before. Excuse me, y'all, but I've seen it before. People who are extroverted introverts, meaning they could be extroverted, meaning outgoing on certain topics and things, but introvert on certain things or situations. And then you could have an extrovert introvert. I know it sounds crazy, like I said. So they could be outgoing and an introvert, extrovert, meaning they could be really reserved on some things, but when they get excited on something they love, they talk about it. So it's so many different dynamics that you can't even really put a title on people because nobody knows the human brain. So all I can say is you have to be proactive in what you choose to do and what you want in your life. If it's something that you want in your life, pay attention, listen, follow their hand gestures, look at their eyes to see if they're and as a man you want to look at people in the eye anyway, and that's even more so easier for you to gauge how a person may feel or possibly think. And body language speaks a lot, y'all. Just like hand sign language, like sign language, you're using a body part to create a story to talk to people. So your body and your movements say a lot, which I talk with a lot of hand gestures, but you can understand if somebody do like this, they blowing a kiss. If somebody do like this with their eyebrows, that mean they flirting. If somebody be like, they in deep thought. Like it's so many different gestures that someone could do without words. So you can watch body language as well. Those are ways you could tell too. But on that note, man, y'all gotta see the video. The video I got posted on there. It says "Got Her" wrong with RIO, and that's with Toccara and Carlos Miller. Y'all gonna like it. But if y'all like this topic and y'all want to talk more on it, man, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about it some more. So as soon as you watch that and you watch this, just chime back in, let me know in comments, and we're gonna have a live and we just gonna have some discussion, chop it up, talk, and relate. That's what it is. It's that matcha tea time with RIO, man. We're gonna have different moments, different topics, and it's not gonna be just traveling, food, and DJing and music and all of that. It's gonna be a full spectrum of just fun and conversation. Right now it's Sunday. I'm just relaxing. I'm not dressed up. I'm not doing anything special. Just coming to y'all's living room, talking to y'all right now. So I hope y'all enjoy. In between time and meantime, just be easy, be you. Remember, just be you. Be you. It works a whole lot better that way.